Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David.
Hi, I'm not David. I'm very grumpy. I don't say much.
Yeah, you don't say much. You stay there. Pay attention. Not David here. He's angling for his own YouTube channel, so I got to keep an eye on him. I think he's trying to steal our subscribers here. So, hi everybody. I'll get chipper soon enough. I'm better than David, but not, I may be about 75% of the way there. It's a little better every day. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for your kind comments on the last couple of videos. I haven't been able to respond as thoroughly as I would like, just simply because there are so many comments. Everyone has so much to say, and believe me, I get it. We really need someone to talk to, and I know there are a couple people in the comments that don't have anyone to talk to. This is their outlet. So, if David and I are your main outlet to release the feelings you have, fire away in the comments. Believe me, I do read them and I do respond. So thank you all for that. Today, I want to... So the reading I had yesterday, trying to figure out what was the main driver for Trump winning. Was it, misogyny and sexism? Was it the economy, or was it Russia? And yeah, we all saw the Russia cards looked pretty damning. So I want to follow it up today with, is Biden doing something about this? And if he's doing something about this, will they find out in time? I mean... honestly, their first deadline is kind of that mid-December time frame when they start picking the electors for the electoral college. It's not that they, necessarily, if they pick the electors, is game over, because as you saw in 2020, you can create a whole different set of electors and put them forward and cause confusion and mayhem. It's a conspiracy theory until we have facts to back it up. And that's the difference here is, if we cannot prove that the Russians interfered with the voting machines and the counting of ballots, if we can't prove it, we just have to shut the hell up and deal with it. I mean, bottom line. One of the things that, people were saying, well, how could they have done this? And, I think it could be just as simple as, Russia's got a bunch of hackers. They got a bunch of programmers. They know how to rig a Russian election. How difficult do you think it would be for them to rig an American election? All they need is a back door into the coding for these machines, and then they could just do an over-the-air update. I mean, I'm not an IT guy, and I didn't sleep in a Holiday Inn Express last night, but it seems to me like that's kind of a basic plan there. The other thing that's kind of crazy, and maybe it was by design, but, everything that Trump was complaining about in 2020, it's like the Russians took that as their to-do list. They had voting machines that changed votes from Trump to Biden. Oh, put that on the to-do list. They had, they did this and they did that. Put that on the to-do list. It's like they took all of Trump's gripes and made that their blueprint for the 2024 election. It's just kind of weird how that worked out, huh? So you got that. You've got Musk jumping around, like a Looney Tune on the stage at Butler, Pennsylvania, and then the DJT stock starts taking off at about the same time. It's just like, why is Musk getting involved with this? And why is all of a sudden everyone's buying DJT stock? There's a lot of things that start coming together that smell fishy. But now, it's not up to me and the other, tarot readers or intuitives to say, now Biden's got to get on it. And so I want to throw some cards to see, is Biden on it? And are they going to be successful in identifying what's going on? Because if they can't do it, then we've got 4 years of Trump, and we just have to shut the hell up about this. So for entertainment purposes only, I'll give this one more shuffle. Is Biden on this? Does he have folks looking at this. And if you have not seen it yet, check out Libby's Five Eyes recording that she did, I think probably yesterday now, about the 5 intelligence agencies that may be looking into this. So this is kind of partially to validate what Libby was seeing and then seeing what kind of progress we're making on this. Okay, so is Biden looking into this? Make sure I've got the cards the right way. Okay. Foundation of reading is the 3 of Wands. Yeah, they're looking at it and they're waiting for the information to come in. That's a great start. The challenge crossed with 7 of Wands. That's a perfect challenge card. Yeah. In the meantime, they're trying to defend democracy. They're trying to defend the integrity of elections, and but they've got to find the data first, and so that they can defend. And underneath it, of course, the 9 of Pentacles. That's my Kamala Harris card, because this election appears to have been stolen from Kamala Harris. They're looking at this now. And this is encouraging to me. Okay, in the past, we had the Page of Cups. Just kind of a peace offering here. It's a cup of emotion. It's an offering. Maybe Kamala's probably not feeling really good right now about what happened, and maybe they're saying, "Hey, you know what, Kamala? We think that something else was afoot here. We just need to be patient, and we need to assess what's going on here. Keep calm. Carry on." Current energy is the Queen of Pentacles. We're looking at this is a nurturing card. I really identify with this card. This is probably our election integrity, our democracy, our voting. They're looking at this and they're trying to protect it and nurture it and making sure everything is okay. This could be looking at the voting machines. What is in there, and taking a very careful and I was going to say loving, but careful approach, being very aware of what's going on in these machines, and not being a bunch of thugs just ripping them apart like the Republicans were doing. They need to be a lot more methodical and a lot more caring, and probably a lot more under the table about it. Trump broadcasts everything, but that's unusual. Biden and company, they don't broadcast stuff. They get stuff done without making huge headlines. So that could be it. Overarching energy is the Tower. Very interesting card. If these machines were hacked, and if the programming was compromised, this whole election is coming down in a tower moment. The whole foundation of the election results is in trouble. And the $64,000 question is, if they find out there's a problem, what are they going to do? I mean, unless you can reconstitute all of the original votes, you might have to have a whole nother election. We are in such uncharted waters right now. The lesson to be learned is the 6 of Pentacles. You can't be paying off your followers. You can't be paying people off and offering them things of value and mess with the scales of justice. At the end of the day, our election integrity, our justice system, they're important. Our democracy is important. And somebody's been trying to buy their way to the top. This could be Elon Musk throwing little shekels at Republicans. I just responded to a comment where it kind of struck me as, he was out there in those swing states with those, paying people $100 to sign a petition. I wonder if the goal of that was more to get their metadata, their names, their addresses, so that they could ensure that these people were voting for Trump, make sure their votes were being cast for Trump in a programmatic type of way. It's just complete thought bomb there. I have no idea if that actually happened or not. Outcome is the 7 of Pentacles. Right now, they're seeing a lot of things that smell, but they need to get them off of the shrub and they need to harvest them. They need time, and that's unfortunately something that's a resource that we don't have a lot of. We have to get moving on this. This is where Merrick Garland is really going to show his stuff. Not, basically we got to give Merrick Garland a chore. Why don't you go to the store and get some soup? And then while he's gone, we put some people on this thing that can really mow through some information and get some facts for us here. We don't have time to piddle fart around here, man. We got to be that Knight of Swords in charge, Figure out what we need to do and charge. So it looks to me, based on these cards, that Biden is on it. He's got people looking at this. They're assessing the information they have and trying to harvest as much as they can. And they know there's a deadline. We've got the overarching energy as a tower moment, because they know that if they can prove this whole election was a sham. And I know in the comments there are people that have said, well, there are some people that just won't vote for a woman. True. There are a bunch of, ethnic men that won't vote for a woman. Yep, got it. So people upset about inflation. Yep, I don't doubt that. Absolutely. And they can blame Biden and they can blame Harris, I suppose, and go vote for Trump if that's what makes them happy. But there was a lot of college kids and young people that registered to vote that were really excited about Kamala Harris. And I think there was a lot more of them than there were people that were disgruntled because of inflation, or Republicans that were disgruntled based on Trump's actions. It just didn't make sense to me. So, let's ask the $64,000 question. Will they find evidence and will they be able to prove it before the inauguration? Can they do this in time? Will they have enough time to do this? All right, folks. I don't know how this is going to go, and I'm not going to blow sunshine up anyone's butt. So maybe the cards will tell me, maybe they won't. We'll see what I get. Okay. Will they find out? Holy cow, we're going to start with the Knight of Swords. I just told you. You can't be timid here. You got to move boldly forward. So apparently Merrick Garland is out getting soup at the store, and they're putting someone in charge of this that can get stuff done. So are they going to find out? Will they have it out in time? They're certainly making the effort. The challenge is the Page of Wands. How do you message this? It goes back to what I'm saying is, if you can prove it, that's great. What are you going to do next? They have to come up with a messaging that not only Democrats, but MAGA is going to accept that something unusual happened. If you watch the Cash Peters video, he said he had a MAGA friend that even that MAGA friend's like, yeah, this doesn't seem right. Something's not right here. But we got to make Biden and company have to make sure they've got the right messaging. It's not just enough to have evidence that they did it. You have to be able to message this in a way that people can understand. The folks that are MAGA, they're not necessarily the sharpest tools in the shed. And I mean, no offense to MAGA, but they'll believe just about anything Trump tells them. So you got to be able to prove it to them. Underneath it, the Queen of Cups. And you've got to be able to do it in a non-emotional way. You got to keep a lid on the emotions. There's a lot of outrage right now. So this messaging has to prevent people from rioting in the streets on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. In the past, the Moon card. I was wondering when this damn card was going to finally show up. Yeah, mystery, secrets, keeping things in the dark, that's, they've got to get through this. They have to get a whistleblower. They have to be able to prove that the code was changed if that's how it was done. And then get people to start verifying that. And they don't have a lot of time. Current situation is the Queen of Wands. They're looking at the voters, how the voters were originally voting and comparing it to what actually got recorded. That's what I'm getting from that card. It's also, strong messaging. once again, we have to come up with messaging that anyone can understand, but it's got to be firm and strong messaging. The lesson to be learned. Queen of Swords, good card. You know, Kamala, that's once again another Kamala Harris card. The lesson to be learned is like the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Swords is not an emotional card. This is what you did. You need to own this. There's no emotion here. This is very factual. This is what you did, and this is why you did it, and this is what happened. So that's a good overarching energy card. Lesson to be learned. You know, lesson to be learned is that this could be one of a couple things. This could be, you know, the House and the Senate working with the executive branch or the Five Eyes, for example, collaborating and working together to bring things of value. That kind of resonates with me. It could also mean that the lesson to be learned is don't be trying to work with Mossad and with the Russian hackers to influence our election for your benefit. It could be either one of those possibly. Outcome. Okay, here we go. Oh my God. Okay. Three of Cups. This has always been my Kamala Harris victory card. The women celebrating victory. This is really encouraging. Thanks. Once again, I don't want to blow sunshine up anyone's backside. You know, Dave and I had a lot of positive readings about this election, and it went sideways. And you can see how much it's devastating my brother. I'm right there with him, but he feels so much more deeply. It hits him so much more deeply. I can get through it a little bit easier, but the passion that David has, it shows, and that's why he's been having a real tough time getting back in the saddle. He is so hurt right now by what happened. These cards are really positive. That's the current energy. I guess I just need to emphasize that. It looks good. There's people looking at it. They are going to have success with it. And it will be a happy day for Kamala Harris's camp. But that's the current energy. I can't promise you that the energy changes. You know, there's free will. Who knows what can happen? But right now, it's looking good. I'm gonna sort of leave it there at this point. Well, let me ask one more question. Will Kamala Harris be inaugurated on the inauguration date? Or, yeah, do I want to do that? Because if it comes up no, then what does that mean, right? It's after the date. She doesn't get inaugurated. We got to be real specific. Will Kamala Harris be inaugurated as President of the United States and become our 47th President of the United States? How's that? Current energy for entertainment purposes only. Hope I mentioned that already. Okay. All right, folks. Let's see what we got here. Let's do a little four-carder. Here we go. Is Kamala Harris could be 47? Well, 10 of Wands. We got a big burden to get across the finish line if we're going to name her the 47th president. Like I said, we got a lot of work to do. We don't have a lot of time. And we've been fighting all sorts of battles. And we just got to get it to the finish line. The main clarifier is the Knight of Wands. Getting out there and getting that message moving forward. All right. Balance. Two of Pentacles. You know, this was... I remember what I called this when we were asking if Trump was going to get elected. I was making a comment about, I brought my red hat on and I'm bringing things of value to the red hat, folks. This could be, they have to be able to show MAGA that this election interference is not in their best interest. That we have to put the interest of the nation first, and make sure that everyone understands that this isn't a partisan thing. This is about election integrity. They've been very passionate about election integrity for the last 4 years. I certainly hope they don't forget it now. Wheel of Fortune, anything can happen. And underneath it, the Page of Wands. Fight, fight, fight. I'm going to say right now, the energy's not telling me one way or the other if she's going to be the 47th president. I just don't get a strong feeling one way or the other. It's still to be determined. Maybe that just means Biden stays 46th president for a bit longer until this whole thing gets sorted out. So stay tuned, folks, to quote Melania Trump. So that's what I got for you. Thank you for all the well wishers. David's doing okay. I saw his last video, which wasn't the most uplifting video I've ever seen of my brother. But I'll call him later, either tonight or tomorrow, see where he's at in his headspace. I just don't think he's quite there yet. When I talked to him last night, he said he'd probably put something up maybe tomorrow or over the weekend. Watching his video that he put up last night, I don't think he's quite as far along as I was hoping he might be. So hang in there with us. I'm so sorry for all of the pain you guys are feeling. Believe me, Dave and I are feeling it too. And like Dave said in his video, we're 59-year-old white guys who are, Catholic/Christian, right? We're the last people that are going to be affected by Trump and his policies. And yet Dave and I we have so much empathy for the people that are going to get impacted by that. It's that this is completely unfair that really is getting up his nose and my nose. It's not fair what's happening. It's not just, it's not right. It's not what Jesus would do. And that's what just gets my goat about these evangelicals. They claim that they follow the word of Christ and that, Christ and the Bible and God are so important to them, but then they're so willing to hate. It's like, it's so contradictory. It's like, look at yourself. Look how you conduct yourself. It's not going to church on Sunday that proves that you're religious and that you're righteous. It's how you conduct yourself day to day. You can't go to church on Sunday, then sin like a madman from Sunday at 10 o'clock until Sunday at 9 o'clock when you go back to church again and ask for forgiveness. That's not how it works. You're supposed to take those teachings from the church and employ them in your everyday life. Show kindness, show love, show respect. It's not harder than that, folks. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because you folks know this. It's the ones that are voting for Trump that need to figure it out. So, rant over. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I'll do my best to respond, but boy, oh boy, you guys have been really throwing them at me on these last couple of videos. So I do appreciate that. Hang in there. We will get through this, and we will look at these readings again in the future. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Did you stick around? Okay. I'm going to do one more secret card because we haven't done a secret card in a while. Okay. I'm going to be thinking about... Secret card is how will MAGA react when they're shown proof that Trump cheated in this, the Russians cheated this election to help Trump. And here we go. How are they going to react? Queen of Wands, you tell me what you think that means. Have a wonderful day, folks. Bye.